The will of the Force is complete. Welcome to the podcast where we discuss how to outmaneuver your opponents. I'm Faith, and I'm here with Jrod. While his dudeness is away at Gen Can't. In his place, we are joined by our new friend we met with a new role. We recap our experience at the Galactic Championship. But first, Jrod, can you introduce your new best friend?
Yeah, so this is Brian, a.k.a. Scuttlebutt, the new host of Golden Dice Podcast. Welcome, Brian.
Hello. Thanks for having me. I'm on the Golden Dice Podcast, which was started by Jack and who's now moved on to FFG. And I'm on there with Flockton and Scott. And we kind of do weekly gameplays and bi-weekly podcasts and, occasional goodies here and there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for joining us today and being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. And
as we're on this episode, just back from the Galactic Championship, why don't you start us off by telling us about your experience?
Oh yeah, it was a great weekend. It was a whirlwind of a time. The venue was huge. The crowds were even bigger. The energy was buzzing, and I met a lot of cool people. And I was excited to see the FFG devs and the content creators and see some panels. There's a lot going on this weekend that I really enjoyed.
Did you play at all in any events?
So I didn't play in the main event because I had a panel that I was a part of on Sunday. So I didn't want to tie myself up in anything like that. So the first day I had kind of looked to do some side events, but that didn't really pan out. So I watched some panels and had a great time there. I watched the artist panel at 1:00, and then I watched the Bucketheads live do some Twin Suns with an FFG designer at 2, and that was a blast.
And then what did you do Saturday, Sunday?
So Saturday and Sunday, Saturday I did the Open, and I played Talzin. I went 6-2, and then I dropped because I couldn't compete in day 2 since I had a panel at 11:00 on Sunday morning with D-House, Justin, and Logan from FFG on the Secrets of Twin Suns, pretty much. So, and after that, we did an interview with John Leo, which went up on our channel today, as of today. And then we stood on the prize wall line for a little bit. And by then, the venue was closed, and we kind of hung out, got some food, and prepared for our trip home.
Very cool. For those listening, we're recording this on Thursday, July 31st. So go check out their channel and check out that interview with John Leo. It sounds like you competed, you connected, and did you get any completion done by getting any cool cards?
Yeah, I ended up with the Luke Invader showcases, which actually completes my set 1 showcases, which I was super excited about. They look gorgeous. Other than that, I got a couple soft crates, a couple sleeves, because by the time that I had made it to the prize wall line, there wasn't that much left. I think I waited a little too long, but I did get some cool stuff. I got the Droid Convention exclusives as well. Those are very, very pretty.
Nice. And Connect is the last one that I don't think I mentioned. So yeah, compete, connect, and collect. Yes, thank you. So yeah, it sounds like you did it all then.
I C3OP'd for sure.
And what was your highlight of the weekend, would you say?
Oh man, I really enjoyed the Twin Suns panel. That was a blast. I enjoyed playing Twin Suns with a bunch of different people, especially your own Jrod. He did knock me out. That was no good, but saw a lot of spicy plays, saw a lot of spicy decks. I really enjoyed seeing the crowd was packed. I mean, there was a lot of good people with a lot of good vibes. Just wanted to play some swoop. So,
yeah, that's awesome. For those that weren't able to attend, it is unfortunate because it was a great event. And I would say we had around 3,000 people total. So 2,000 played in the Open the day before, day 1. And then I think an additional 500 played the next day. So that was just the main event. Plus there was people that weren't playing in the main event that were there. So I would say 3,000 to 3,500 people were there. It was a great time.
It was a super cool event.
Jrod, why don't you tell us about your experience?
Yeah, so Friday, I didn't actually get to do much. I was helping out Justin and the Buckethead set up their live panel. And then I went and I viewed that. And then I had my own panel about draft with Jason Toro from Main Deck, D-House, Joe, and I'm forgetting the other dev's name, so I apologize for that. But so we had that. That is up on Main Deck Dan's channel. You can check that out. It's a great panel all about Draft, Sealed, and Cube. So if any of those things interest you, absolutely go check that out. There's some amazing advice in that, and it's a lot of fun. So we did that, and I got some food and kind of hung out, and we played some Twin Suns at night after that. But like during the event, I didn't really do much, which is one of my regrets from this weekend. Just my own personal choice to not go play. I should have grinded some side events towards the end of the day, to earn some tickets. So that way on day 2, I could have earned more and then gone to the prize wall and gotten what I wanted. Um, but on Saturday, I definitely just grinded a bunch of events. I did actually get a bunch of my cards altered by the artists and some signed, which was super awesome. I got my Rose Tico showcase altered, which now adds at least doubles her value from $5 to $10. And then, yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the really cool things I hope we get more of is more artists there. Like, I know a couple of the artists were saying that they hadn't even seen the cards before, that they just, sent their art in and that was it. And they didn't actually come back and look to see what the cards were because, they do the art so much in the future for when the card is actually released that that didn't get to connect for them. So it was really awesome to talk to the artists and meet all of them. And all of them just do phenomenal jobs. They're all amazing human beings. So hopefully we get more of that in the future. I was also able to trade, actually, I think this was on Friday, actually, and cut back a little bit. I traded my Vader 4 showcase for a Towson showcase because Vader 4 was actually about $10 more to start the weekend than Towson. And then by Sunday, as I'm sure everyone's aware, Towson skyrocketed and Vader's like at 120. So I ended up making like $50 on that trade, which wasn't my intention. I just knew I wasn't going to play Vader and I really wanted to play Towson. So it was just kind of an easy swap for me. So definitely connected and collected on that moment. What's the other one now?
Compete.
Connect. Oh, compete. So yeah, I didn't compete in any big events. I didn't play the main. I didn't play the open. So all the competitive events I did not play in. But I definitely played in some premier pods. Those are the fastest, the best way to get tickets. Played a ton of Twin Suns this weekend. So all in all, it was a great weekend. Met a bunch of people. Got to hang out with some amazing creators and some other friends that I get to meet. Shout out to my guy C Woods in the Discord, who pinged me and we got to play a couple games of Twin Suns. He's an awesome guy, big viewer of the show, so appreciate all that. Just want to shout him out for reaching out and getting the gaming with me. I love that. So if you're at a big event and I'm there, definitely hit me up in Discord and see if we can get a game in for sure.
Yeah, that was the first time that I got to meet Jrod as well. He didn't invite me to play. He didn't invite me to play in his Twin Suns game, so still a little bit disappointed and sad about that. But
you were playing the open. You were playing in the open, sir.
So yes.
Oh, I got one more quick thing before you move on, because my favorite thing of the event was the creator dinner. Basically, everyone kind of cleared out was towards the end, but I was playing a Twin Suns game. It was myself, Justin from the Bucketheads, Julian from the Bucketheads, and MJ, the designer, and we labeled this game Set 16 because MJ revealed all the secret info from Set 16. Disclaimer: MJ revealed no information from the actual Set 16. Set 16 is not in development yet. It was actually just a meme. We were just messing around. Basically, what it was is like, let's say it was Justin's action to go, and we had a shield token. We would just be like, "Oh, this unit has a shield now," and just doing the most crazy, wild things. It basically devolved into like a giant meme of a game. It wasn't actually a game. Like, I think Julian was like gonna die, but then he's like, "Wait a minute," and looked through his whole deck to find like 4 cards to make him not die. And it was just the most degenerate, funny, like goofy game of Twin Suns I've ever played, and it was definitely my favorite part of the weekend. Set 16 lives on.
Yeah, just a spoiler: all of games that Jrod's involved in are a meme, so that's really nothing special. And so I will bring up the rear. I did play in I tried to qualify, tried to win. If you watched any of the coverage, you know that I did not win. I started off in day 1, and I started off against a Yoda Red, and I ended up losing. I brought my signature deck, the deck I've been playing for a year and a half now, over a year and a half, almost 2 years. Since before the game came out, Krennic, and I love Krennic as a leader. Very sad I won't get to play with him in the next Galactic Championship, but I played with Krennic Green with ECL, lost to Yoda round 1, was a little disappointed, and then won the next 2. We had a lunch break, and then after the lunch break, I lost again. So I was 2-2. For those that weren't watching, you needed to go 6-2 to qualify for the next day. I ended up rattling off 3 victories in a row, one of which my opponent in one turn, this is round 5, my opponent played a home one. Oh no, Keller and Beck into a home one into a blue leader as one action. And I still ended up winning that game, actually, which was pretty dope. But that was a pretty crazy turn that they had. The next round, I was versing a Kira Green, and it was a very close game. We were running down on time, and I ended up fumbling my hand into my resource row. Luckily, there was a judge beside me who was able to sort it out, and I ended up taking that game at the last moment. And then finally, I played against another deck, and I'm forgetting which one it was, but I ended up winning that one as well. And this brought me to my win and in game. I was against a Mando Green, Mando from set 2, and I just didn't get there. It was really disappointing. I screwed up game 1 by I had a choice between resourcing a Supremacy tie and Power of the Dark Side, and I just totally blanked that he was running Chewbacca, so I kept the power, and obviously that did nothing against a Chewie. That is life. I should have thought a little bit harder, but that is life. So I lost out on that. I was pretty disappointed. However, luckily there was the Galactic Open the next day, so I signed up for that. I ended up starting off really well. I think I went 3-0 to start off, 4-0, and then I lost a game to a Han Blue. And I played 19 rounds, and that was the only Han Blue that I versed. Han 2 Blue that I versed. The only Han 2 I versed at all in 19 rounds, which was pretty crazy, pretty statistically unlikely. But I ended up, losing that one. But then I ended up winning the next 3. So I ended up being 7-1, lost in round 9, 7-2, which was good enough for a day 2 of the Open entry. My breakers were pretty good, but I did end up losing the next 2 games. So I did finish with a record of 7-4 at the Open, which was good for 37th place. And I ended up they revealed on day 3 of the Galactic Championship, day 2 of the Open, that that there would be a way to earn points through planetaries, sectors, and regionals. We just found out at this time of recording that the event I played in was classified as a sector. So since I got 37th place, I earned 15 points towards the leaderboard for next Galactic Championship, which you need 100 points to qualify for. So I'm on my way, hoping to qualify for next year's Galactic Championship. It was a great day. You ended up getting 500 tickets for playing in the Open and 500 tickets for playing in the main event, from day 1 at least. And so I really spent my tickets efficiently. I bought 5 Super Laser Blasts, 2 of which ended up going to Jrod. So I had a play set for myself, and he was
Big love.
He was able to complete his play set. And I also got, with my tickets I got from getting into day 2 of the Open, I got a Vader and Luke showcase. What was great is, despite the crazy long lines for a variety of things, I was basically just playing Star Wars the whole time, and I didn't have to wait in any lines. I didn't play Line Simulator, so that was really good. And I ended up getting all the prizes that I wanted to. So it was overall, honestly, really great.
Yeah, I think looking back on it, I definitely would at least play the Open next time around. I wanted to jam some side events with some friends, but looking back, I should have just played the Open because they held back tickets for people they held back prizes, from the prize wall because laser blasts were sold out that day, they said. And I bought my Luke showcase that day. I didn't have enough for both, so I just bought Luke. And I actually regret buying Luke. I'll go to that in a minute, but I did not get a laser blast, so the only 2 I have are 2 from Faith. I actually didn't complete my set. But I was going to go home with 0 because they were basically sold out, and the next day they had a little bit left, and basically if you weren't a VIP, you weren't getting any. So, and I definitely was in the back of the line, so I had 0 hope. So I was very thankful for my guy Faith for helping out. But yeah, if I could go back, I probably wouldn't have purchased Luke. I probably would have gone and picked up some other items like some Shin Hatis and stuff like that. There were some really cool cards that I kind of wanted and regret not getting, but mostly that's my own doing for agreeing to get the Luke. My friend from Bucketheads he had asked, like, hey, I'm gonna go pay $3,000 for Vader regardless. Like, he's like, do you want Luke for $2,000? and that was just like a really good deal in my opinion. So I was like, I don't like to pass it up, but seeing what cards are going for and all that stuff, like definitely probably could have spent my tickets a little bit more efficiently had I just bought other items or just bought silver packs, and I'm probably been better off. But you live and you learn. It's all right. Once I can move this Luke, I'll be happy. But it's still sitting in my binder. I kind of want to sell it. So if you're interested, hit me up in DMs, Discord.
Yeah, for anyone that knows, I like just the regular version of cards most of the time. So the I really didn't mind only having access to the super laser blasts, which I did see on day one were kind of selling pretty fast. So I was like, okay, I'll just pick up my set, and then I was either gonna. I'm glad I was able to help Jrod out. I had some other friends that were looking for them as well, so I knew that I could trade them away. And just really, what I did was I just got regular versions of cards that I needed. And to Jrod's point, if you made day 2 of the Open or day 3 of the Galactic Championship, they did hold one copy of the Luke Vader and one copy of the 8 prize wall cards back that you were able to purchase. So that was about 6,700 tickets to at least get one of each set.
So how did you get 5 laser blasts? I'm just curious. I only held one of each.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I should clarify. On day 2, early in the morning, when I had my 1,000, because I had 500 tickets from day 1 and day 1 and 5,000. Sorry, 500 tickets, points, prize wall tickets from day 1 playing in day 1, and 500 for playing in the Open. That was the 1,000, and I just saw that there was not a lot of super laser blasts left, and so I just bought with the 1,000 prize wall tickets I had. I bought my 5 super laser blasts.
Gotcha.
Man.
Yeah, so I did that early day 2, and I think when I did it though, this was like maybe after round 1 or round 2 of the Open, and I just saw there was like maybe 15 versions super laser. Like maybe they have some in the back, but I was like, I'll just buy some now because I'm going to be involved in playing in the game. Which
Makes
again,
sense.
I had a great
that was
time.
my biggest regret for myself was just how I managed my tickets and my time with that. Like I wish I had played more on Friday. I was happy to help a friend out and set up their stuff, but I wish like after I did that I went out and just played at least a couple of side events, so I had some tickets to buy for like the next day early in the morning. Because I knew I wanted laser blast. Like I should have just grinded out enough so I could earn 600 tickets, which would have been like basically like two pods of basically anything. And I would have had enough. So like I should have just done that so I had enough to get my playset of laser blasts the next morning. But I didn't realize how fast they were selling out because I didn't even go over to the prize wall until I would have tickets ready. So until like the end of day 2. But live and learn on that. It was one of my first like big major events like that. Like I've been to like, other events for like Magic and stuff like that, but like I hadn't really been to like a big event like that. I've only been to a GP once for Magic, but that was like I think I scrubbed out and we left early, so I didn't even like spend the whole day there. So to be there for the weekend, that was a newer thing for me, and to not play in the main event, something that I typically always do. So for me to just not do that was weird and different, and it kind of threw me off. So now I'm prepared next year when I go for if I do just side events or if I'm able to make it into the main event, I'll know what to do now.
Brian, what about yourself? Anything you would do differently?
I actually the thought about the prize wall and the tickets and all that. I feel like next year when I go, I would probably actually be a VIP. I feel like the VIP ticket, like before when we were looking at it, like I don't really need it. Like I think that's kind of a waste. But I think they really did get a good deal. As far as like they had the side event tickets, they had the early access, and the early access this time made all the difference, right? Like,
Yep.
On day 3, when things were starting to go dry, they were in first, and they can kind of scout the situation, get their tickets from the previous day, and make some decisions. And by the time that Flock, Scott, and myself got there on Sunday, it was down to like sleeves, deck pods, a couple of random mats here and there. I feel like that would be one of the things I would do differently. I think that they're going to have the bugs ironed out that they had this year because they're really, really good at taking feedback and kind of adapting. And if this is going to be in the same place next year, then I would assume that everything's kind of going to go a lot smoother than it did this year. I think they did a great job. Don't get me wrong. I think that they did a great job this year. There were some things that weren't perfect, but they made their best effort to adjust as the day went on. And I think next year is going to be even better. And I mean, I love this game, right? Like I do content for the game. I play the game all the time. I like my local community. I think it's worth jumping in for the VIP. And that might not be the case for everybody, right? Like if you kind of just don't, you want the general experience and that's enough for you, then that's totally great. But I feel like the VIP got some cool perks that I would like to experience next year. So that's where I'm at.
Just to give
Yeah.
a general outline, sorry, for those that weren't able to attend, didn't look at the pricing structure. I think general admission was 40. Premium weekend
50.
was, maybe it was 50. Premium weekend was 100, I think. And then VIP
130.
130, and then VIP was 500. So
Nailed that one.
general admission, you got to be admitted generally. For the premium weekend, that's the one I originally was in the general admission, and then I got the premium weekend, and that included 100 side event tickets. No, 10 side event tickets. Sorry, 10 side event tickets, which would cost about $50 to buy at the event. You got the Darth Revan mat. You got sleeves. Did general admission get the pins as well, or was that just for premium weekend?
I think it was just for premium.
Weekend. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then
I
you
don't
got
think, did everyone get the Reverend mat or no? Was it just
no,
That was
just
premium and up.
premium and
Yeah. So like honestly, like moving forward, like the Reverend mat itself is worth like $100 right now, like all day long. So you should absolutely just get the premium next time and not do the basic one, because you get the mat and you can just sell that and you make your money back for
you did
future
also,
reference.
You did also. Oh, did general admission get the Mando card, or was that just for playing in the event?
I think everyone got the.
I think everyone got that, but
yeah,
premium
got
also
the
got the token set, which is like $50. The metal one, I believe. I don't think the regular edition got that.
And that one you get, just so those that don't know, you get 4 tokens inside. You get an initiative counter, a blast counter, plan counter, and a force token. All that are very similar. So that was cool. I also got in Thursday morning, and so I was able to get the metal shield token. Not that that's a big deal, but it was something if you were an early signer up, or you got that.
I actually got one of those myself, just because I was at the end of the prize wall, and the person there felt bad that there wasn't much to pick over, and I didn't know what to spend it on. So they found that, and they were kind enough to offer like the last one to me. So I ended up snagging the last one that was there.
Nice.
Me being a nice guy, I have a goodie bag for a friend of the channel, Marauder Mo, as he was not able to attend, but did purchase an unrefundable ticket. So I was able to snag all of his goodies for him, and I put that little shield token in the bag for him to have, so he could have some prize wall goodies and whatever. I wasn't able to get a ton, so that was that. But yeah,
solid play. And then so that was the premium weekend, and then for VIP got a little bit extra. They got all that stuff from premium weekend. Plus, they also, as mentioned earlier, got to, at least on Saturday and Sunday, they got to go in an hour early. I feel like we all went in at the same time on Friday.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that. Maybe they had a shorter line. I don't know. But they got to go in early, full hour early, first 2 days. Second and third day, sorry. And then they got to go to a breakfast on Saturday with the designers. That, I think for me, that was like something I saw. I'm like, I don't care about this at all. I'm sure some people really enjoyed it, but that was just something that for me that didn't matter. You also got a premium box, which was really cool. A deck box by GameGenic that was like black with gold piping. Very cool box. And acrylic bases, 4 acrylic bases, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I think you got 20 side event tickets as well. So that'd be about $100 side. So just for those at home that didn't know what they were.
I talked to a bunch, and I mean, I asked everyone if they had a lanyard. I almost asked everyone, hey, do you feel like the VIP was worth it? And I don't think I ran into a single person that said no all weekend.
That's great.
I asked a bunch, and like, it's a high price tag for sure. $500 is not something to laugh about. It's not an insignificant amount of money at all. It's a massive amount of money to go to an event when you're already have to fly and get a hotel. It's a big investment. But from the amount of people that said that they would do it again, I would probably try it again next year. I do not care about the breakfast. And that's what I thought like the main thing was the breakfast. Because I knew I also had the content creator dinner. So like I knew I'm going to get to hang out with devs anyways later on. So I wasn't stressed about it. But I agree. I definitely wish I did it. I got the cool secret Super Legitech pin early on Friday. And then they were like, oh, it's the secret one. You have to get the rest of them now. I'm like, okay, cool. And both days I went to the pin station like first thing, and the line was out to nowhere. And they basically, before I could get there, they all sold out. I couldn't get another pin. So I was couldn't get the other pins. So I was pretty bummed about that. Had I been VIP, I could have done that. So it was a little unfortunate, but that's just kind of way the cookie crumbles when you're just doing normal admission and there's thousands of people there, you can't always get what you want. But if you try
Brian,
real hard, sometimes you get what you need.
Brian, what part of VIP interested you the most?
Well, I think everything in here is excellent, right? I liked everything I got in the premium, and the VIP is just more of that. But
Mhm.
the early access to things, I think also, I think that pays the way, right? Because you have the opportunity to get more things from the prize wall. And again, I think that next year they're going to change that and fix that up and make that a little easier to access for everybody. I would assume. I don't know, but I would have to think. But the deck pod I did end up seeing, and it is really cool. I like the deck pod a lot. The acrylic base is really cool. I think that my only complaint with the plastic base cards is that they weren't like the force bases. I kind of would have liked the force bases just because it's Legends and they're new and exciting, and that would have been cool. But I mean, have you seen that High Republic green base? It's gorgeous, especially in hyperspace.
I haven't.
I
The 28-point base. Yes. That one.
Yeah, the 28-point High Republic little
Yeah,
ship,
yeah.
and gorgeous.
I will say, Brian, you gave me a great idea. I think next year when you sign up, there should be a little mini survey and be like, what cards in the prize wall are you interested in? And then people fill it out.
Yeah.
And then that way they have a general idea of, hey, how many people that are going, because you already purchased a ticket, and then what they're looking for, so you can kind of gauge how many of each you need, and then maybe how much ticket prices cost. Because Laser Blast being $200 is a steal. Like,
oh yeah,
the best thing on that wall was to go in there and be like, hi, I would like to buy all of your Super Laser Blast. And then be like, I'm sorry, you heard I want to buy a lot? I want to buy all your Super Laser Blast. Like, that is what you should have done if you had 1,000,000,005 tickets and infinite tickets, because those are just the most cost-effective items there for that.
So you're saying I was pretty much a pro in what I did?
You were an expert, and I love you forever for what you did. Thank you for
definitely
being
a smart move.
the best Discord podcast partner ever. You're my favorite. Thank you so much. Love you.
No, yeah.
We were
Go
talking
ahead.
about this on Golden Dice yesterday. That episode will come out tomorrow, but we were shocked that less of the things in the con were tied to the badge, right? Because if you went to a panel, they scanned your badge. And they didn't scan my badge for anything the rest of the weekend, right? They did the honor system for Dark Tyrannus. They did the honor system for the prize wall. They didn't limit it to a playset of things. Some people were walking around with multiple sets of showcases. I was kind of surprised that they didn't tie it to the badge or some kind of digital system. But like you were saying, Jrod, I think next year they should have an online marketplace for the prize wall kind of thing. You show up, or you could take a look at the prize wall and see what's there, but order it on like an app or like a website that's tied to the Star Wars Unlimited website, and just pick the things that you want, and they can tell you when to come up. You swap the ticket, they give you a bag, done. Something that makes it a little easier, that you're not just standing in line the whole time. And same thing for registering for like side events. I mean, I think that they could do something more with the badges, or have the side events tied to the badges, something like that makes it a little easier to access for everybody.
Well,
they could just do it on
Brian,
the app. Okay, sorry.
Sorry, I was just saying quickly, Brian, this is a positive podcast. We don't talk about negative things like waiting in line.
No. I'm just saying everything's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm just,
No, I'm just teasing. Jrod, go ahead.
So I think next year, if they have some kind of app or something they can use, so you can just say, I want to register for this side event, and then it'll be like, hey, do you have friends with you? How many? And then you can do that online. So there's no line to wait. You just do it on your phone, and they'll tell you, okay, go to this table, and the judge will be waiting for you with your stuff. And the judge goes there. You know what I mean? Like, have it so that there's no line. There's no waiting in line. It doesn't even seem like there's a line for pods. You just sign up on the thing, and then the app goes through it, like, person by person or whatever. You know what I mean?
100%.
I think that could be a very interesting way to handle it. Obviously, they'd have to create an app, which is a whole other thing. But I think that would definitely be an interesting way to move forward. Maybe not for next year, maybe the year after, because next year might be fast to try to turn something like that around if something like that doesn't already exist. But
it seems like, since we're at the 30-minute mark of the episode where people stop watching anyways, we could talk about the lines that you guys had mentioned. And in particular, there's two kind of lines I'm thinking of. On Friday and Saturday, the event registration line, and on Sunday, the prize wall line. I will not be saying much on this because I was playing in the main event all 3 days, or the main event and the open all 3 days, and I didn't really ever have to wait in line. The one time I did go to the prize wall, it was Saturday and the people weren't there. They were in the event registration line, so it didn't bother me, and the rest of it I was playing. For you guys, how did you find both of those lines?
I am going to quickly jump in here.
Yeah.
The lines were a lot, but with 3,000 human beings being there, of course there's going to be a lot, right? Like you can't expect not, especially for the prize wall. They only had a certain number of staff at the prize wall. It was only a certain size. I think maybe alleviating that, because it literally wrapped around like a whole play area pretty much on day 3, only on day 3. I think on day 3, having 2 areas for the prize wall might be like on different sides of the facility, so that way people have 2 spots to go to, might alleviate some of that lineness. But also, I'm just going to quickly run back to the Darth Tyrannus promo, because I actually did not get one. The only reason I actually own one currently is because one of the Buckethead guys ended up getting a couple from them, because I guess in the beginning they were handing out a couple of cards to each person. And I didn't go right away because, like, oh, they have enough for everyone, I'm just going to wait till later. And I ended up not getting one. They were all out. So I only got one because a friend was kind enough and just gave me one. So that's the only reason why I own one. But that should have been something that was in the kit to start. Like when you got your badge, they should have just given you a Darth Tyrannus as well. And then that way it makes sure everyone just gets one. You know what I mean? I think I meant to mention that earlier, but that was just something that kind of came up to mind. But yeah, so like I did feel like there was just a little bit of like line simulator at the event for some things. Like getting ticket on day 1 before we went in. I was there reasonably early and the line was pretty massive. It moved pretty quickly, but it was definitely a little bit of a pain. It would have been, I don't know a better way to do it though. That's the only problem, because they had a bunch of staff doing tickets to enter, so that was a lot. It was pretty good, but I think the biggest thing was a side event line, because people were definitely deterred from that day 1 and day 2 because of how long the line was. And it ended up moving faster than you thought, but it was definitely something that day 1, I think people were sitting in that line for a while, and it wasn't the easiest thing to grind for tickets.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this was definitely a symptom of suffering from their own success, right? This was a big event, and I think that this was a bigger than I expected it to be. And they had a lot of space in that hall, and there was still a ton of people. I agree with you on the Darth Tyrannus thing before I forget. They definitely should have handed that out in the bags with the swag. And that should have been that. I was saying to Scott, it was night 2 of the event, and I was like, weren't we supposed to get Darth Tyrannuses? And then the next morning it was like, hey, 11 o'clock, come on, show up to the information booth, get your Darth Tyrannus, whatever have you. So yeah, I agree with that. I was hoping that they would be able to be as easy to get as the Grogus from last year, because they were handing those out like candy. I had like 4 or 5 Grogus last year, and they were still, they still had plenty of, everyone had like 3, 4, 5 Grogus. There was plenty, but this Darth Tyrannus felt like there was a little bit less of them. But yeah, the whole point of day 1 for me was to drop out of the main and play sides, and I couldn't do that. I played one side event the whole weekend, and that was a little bit of, I was busy doing the open, I was busy doing panels and this and that, and I probably could have organized my time better. So that's definitely not a dig on FFG. It's just there was a ton to do, and overall, I mean, the event, if you were looking at the internet and people are the loudest on the internet, you would think that this was the worst thing in the world, but it really wasn't. It was a great weekend, and the staff was nothing but pleasant, and they were working really hard to make sure that everyone enjoyed their weekend. So, I mean, I have nothing but kudos to the team, and I'm sure, like I said, they're really, really great at taking feedback, listening, and making sure that they make the changes that need to happen for the event to be the best it can be. And if you talk to any of the devs ever, you will find no bigger fanatics of the game, right? They are absolutely interested in seeing this game succeed, no matter what. And I have the utmost faith in them, straight up. So
yeah, do you have any ins in FFG now that you can give your feedback to directly?
Nope.
I might have someone's number that I can reach out to. I don't know if he can do anything for me, but we'll see.
Yeah. Just with the lines, I again, I was really happy to not have to wait in them because looking back at them was pretty terrible. Especially on the last day of the prize line, I had friends that I helped around to get coffee for them and just kind of provided moral support at the same time because I'm like, I'm not waiting in this line with you guys. And luckily, I didn't have the tickets, any prize event tickets that mattered for. It was funny for me at least from the outside to see the dramatic shift from the events line being so long the first 2 days to then the prize wall line being so big.
Yeah.
Some of these you guys said the digital, either at both having maybe a digital line where you can queue or locking things behind, like locking one playset one playset of the prize wall and one showcase pair behind badges could be helpful, were some of the things that me and my friends talked about. But I agree, and I know it's hard for people that had a difficult time. Like I don't want to make anyone think we don't care about their experience, but from my perspective, at least, this was FFG's first Galactic Championship. They have run other events in the past, but to my knowledge, nothing this big. And so there's always going to be mistakes, especially all the people that are working there are not necessarily all FFG employees. Again, there's things I would have questioned, maybe would have done differently, but totally understand when you're doing such a big event with so many different facets, it's hard to organize it all. Especially, this is the Galactic Championship. From my perspective, at least, the biggest part of the event is the actual games going on. And as someone who played in them, apart from a slightly later start on day one than I was expecting by like 20 minutes, it overall ran quite smoothly, I found, at least from a player perspective.
Yeah, I mean, as it being World Championship, I think the broadcast, from what I saw, looked phenomenal, went great, no major issues with the broadcast. Gameplay at the event, didn't hear of any like massive slowdown of the tournaments, no massive judge calls, nothing like that. So like the tournament as a whole, as a tournament, went really well. Couple of little glitches in the convention side of things, but I think it's definitely something that's fixable for next year, and I'm sure they're going to be working on it. I will say, as someone who did not play competitively this weekend, I had a lot of fun. If you're someone that's like, oh, I could go, but I'm not playing in the main event, so what's the point? I promise you, there's a ton to do. You can get stuff signed by artists. There's some side events you can play in. They had a whole board game section. They had an RPG section. They had a section where you could just sit on couches and watch the broadcast if you wanted to. That was actually relatively popular, especially on day 3 as it went further and further along. There was a trading area. What else do they have over there? They had
the photo booth.
They had a ton of awesome things, little R2-D2s. They had giant TIE Fighter and X-Wings, and like I think you could get in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. Like there's so many cool picture opportunities. They had a learn to play area, and I saw people sitting at the learn to play area all weekend, which was pretty awesome to see. Like, hey, you're at this Star Wars Limited convention, and you're like, wow, this game is sick. Let me learn to play it. Like that's super awesome to see as well. That area wasn't massive, but it's just cool that they offered that and it was being used, and that was super awesome. So there's really something for anyone there. So if you just love the game, I absolutely recommend, if you can swing it, definitely come next year. It's going to be an even bigger and better event because they have a whole other year of what went wrong to fix it and move forward and do better things. So, I have a lot of faith in them for that.
Yeah, and on top of that, the people are just nice, right? Like, I think there are a lot of communities, and I won't name names, that have, 1 or 2 bad apples, but I really don't, I can't name a single bunch of, there's so many nice people. People are really, really kind in the event and out of the event. Like, I have no complaints whatsoever. You will find a friend if you go to these things, for sure. You'll make friends.
And I think like being in a space where everyone is kind of has something in common is always a really cool thing. And that's what I found was just the energy being there, talking with all the people that are all there about Star Wars. It was about Star Wars Unlimited was very cool. One thing I do hope they do next year, I hope, and I think like some Magic cons have done this, is not role playing, but like dress up, like
cosplaying.
Yeah. Like where you have like even if it's like a break at some point, because there's times when like the main event finishes or whatever, but like just a cosplay like thing, like bring all the coolest people that dress up. I've seen other tournaments do that. I think it's just cool because it involves a different side of the Star Wars fandom.
So there were some cosplayers, however, they can't go up on stage and be shown on camera on the live stream, I believe. Um,
Well, but you don't
like
need to do it on
I
the live stream.
know,
You
no,
could do it like
sure, yeah. I mean, like Justin was in Hera the second half of the last day. He wore his Hera costume that if you watch, I forget which episode. I think it's like 2 or 3 from Open Fire episodes, season 1. He wore it then too. So he went as Hera again. And he ran into a Sabine. So we took some photos at the end of the day with them too. So that was super cool. Um, but I will say, like, that was one issue. Like, they were gonna cosplay for their whole for their Open Fire Live, but unfortunately we're not able to, for whatever reasons. But they just weren't able to. So he wore it for Sunday just because he's like, I brought it, I want to wear it, so I'm gonna wear it, kind of deal, you know.
yeah, that's fair. I hadn't anticipated the copyright restriction potentials. I wish that I don't know if they'd be able to, or at least have an area where you can have like, I don't know, photo booth with people that have it. So I think it'd be cool though, just to again
Oh, you
expand.
mean like to bring in like cosplayers who are dressed up as specific characters?
I
You're
guess I was
saying?
thinking you can have like a cosplay like mini event kind of thing. I've seen
I
other games
gotcha.
do that, but maybe you can't do that. But just I don't know. I don't know what you can do, but I think it would just add for some people that maybe play Star Wars more casually, but really like Star Wars that could like dress up as Obi-Wan and again, just some thoughts. Don't know
Yeah,
how it works. Very initial stages.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
Well,
it sounds
before we close it out, because I know you want to close it out real quick, so I'm going to stop you before you do that. Just want to have a big shout out to Jim Cartwright. He is one of the main reasons this game exists. I got to speak to him at the end of the event. Like, basically, everyone was gone. It was me and the Bucketheads hanging out, chilling. He brought us up on the big stage. I have some photos up on the big stage with him and them, and he was just sounded like a proud dad, and just was such an awesome event. And want to say thank you to all the people up top, like Jim and Danny and Xander and all them, all the way down to the very bottom, to the people who I don't know their names, but they were there working diligently and hard at the event. You guys did a phenomenal job. Please don't let all this negativity in the community bring you guys down. You guys worked hard. You were very thoughtful on your responses. And even when people were having issues, you guys did your best and did what you could to make people feel better about the experience, even if it wasn't exactly what they were looking for. Just want to give a big thank you to all you and all the staff for just running and coordinating a massive event that went, in my opinion, very well for your first time.
yeah. Thanks for saying that. Brian, as you're our guest, I want to give you the last kind of space to share anything you'd like. Your thoughts on the Galactic Championship. Make sure you plug your channel again, and yeah, we'll have you end it off for us.
Yeah, I mean, this was a great first championship, and like we said a couple times this episode, I think they're going to continue to go bigger and better and run more smoothly. And I personally cannot wait to see what they come up with in the future. I mean, we saw the little spoilers for set 6, and I got goosebumps. So I am ready. I can't wait to see what's going on, and that'll be great. As far as my channel goes, you can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Blue Sky, as the Golden Dice Podcast. Join me, Flock, and Scott as we do our goofy guy things and continue to play this game that we all love so much.
Thanks so much. Actually, I'm going to cut in a little bit. Jrod, I really appreciated what you said to me about and thinking about you with content after the Galactic Championship. Do you want to share that here?
Oh, that I was a little bit of reinvigorated in my desire to make more content. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I actually went into the weekend considering that Worlds might be my last big Star Wars limited event and that I might not make content anymore. But being there and seeing everyone and just being in that environment, like, kick those bad thoughts to the side, baby. We're back on track. I have a whole video plan for y'all to kind of like showcase a little bit of like the competing side versus the casual hanging out, having a good time side, that you can have fun the whole weekend doing either. You don't need to be there just competing if you don't want to. So hopefully that'll be out next week, hopefully sometime. It's a lot of editing involved, so we'll see. But I'm hoping next week. No promises on that. But yeah, so stay tuned. I'm sure we'll have some deck texts. I might be doing some more Twin Sun stuff, but I'm back into Premiere Play as well. So just hopefully we'll get a bunch of good stuff coming your way.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing. I know I really got reinvigorated as well. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time on Outmaneuver.
Bye, everybody.